You are about to witness history in the making.
Hiya guys, welcome to another Pop Culture Gamers podcast episode. Oh, is it 26 now, Hayden?
It is indeed.
Look at that, I remembered. Anyway, so Hayden's here as you can hear him. How you doing, pal?
Yeah, I'm
right?
doing well, thank you. Yourself?
Yeah, we don't talk a lot these days, do we?
No, we're playing different things at the moment. I think that's sort of the problem, really, isn't it?
Yeah. But there's a thing called a mic for chatting.
Yeah, there is. That's true.
So, a little bit about this week, I suppose. Ordered a couple of Blu-rays, 4K. So one is the Martian extended version, which is coming tomorrow.
God, that's going to be a long film then.
I really like that film. The other one's not coming till November. Any guesses?
Or is it going to be one of the ones like... Well, yeah, I know you've already ordered They Live.
Oh, it's not a John Carpenter movie.
Okay, not a John Carpenter movie.
It's a DC movie.
A DC movie?
Yeah, I've had to pre-order.
The new super extended version of the original Superman.
Did it say it was extended?
Yeah.
Oh, which Superman you on about?
Christopher Reeve.
Yes, it is, yes.
Yeah. There you go. You thought I was going to catch me out there, didn't you?
Yeah, I was. But yeah, I saw... You see, the funny thing is I saw Rambo 1, 2 and 3 on there as well now.
Yeah.
I thought, I'll hold back. Because I do have the box set, but on Blu-ray. But the Superman one, I think, I couldn't resist on that. So, yeah, that was pretty good. So I'm quite chuffed about that. My new tickets arrived for the new venue for the O2 in Shepherd's Bush for John Carpenter. They turned up today, this week, so I thought I was going to have to use the old ones, but I had an email after the event, so they turned up, so I was like, okay, I get the idea of that.
Yeah.
My vinyl, actually, I had to pay some import tax this week.
Ouch.
Two from Mondo, which were two separate packages merged at the same point for shipping, as in, well, getting to Heathrow. I got stung with, what was it? I think it's about 15 quid. So that's 8 quid each. So, I mean, sometimes I don't get it because ironically, the third vinyl has skipped customs, gone through, and it's en route. So I'm not paying for the third one. So if I say that's 16, 15 quid or whatever for three,
it's a lot of money, isn't it? Just because, you've bought it in another country. You've already paid their tax.
Yeah.
And then presumably it's VAT that you're paying, is it?
Yeah, it is, yeah. But, the only reason is because if I wait for a UK dealer to maybe pick them up, it might not be the case.
Yeah.
Because some of them just sell out really quickly. And because I'm collecting the box set for the 5 Halloween movies, that's number 2 has just got in the country. So this week at Wednesday, Tuesday I had an email saying that Halloween, the 40th anniversary vinyl will be going on sale at 6 o'clock UK time.
Yeah. So
I was there with my fingers on the pulse. It should do. But it's really good though, because I can, as soon as I see it, I can hit the button, I can go to my cart and use PayPal. So I don't have to put any digits in. I just have to tap the keypad and it's done. And then I can worry about paying whoever I need to pay afterwards once it's secured. So that was pretty good. My vinyl from Amazon turned up as well. Mrs. wondered what I was doing. She saw 3 boxes the other day sitting there. Thinking, what you got there? I just vinyl. Really? Gets a huge box. But you know what Amazon are like.
Yeah. I'm just thinking once I ordered a bra for my wife and she's not exactly small, but they brought it in, and I'm not kidding you, the box was sort of like 3 foot across, about a foot deep. I'm thinking, how big is this bra?
Only you know that question.
Yeah.
And that's as far as I go. It's funny because Jasmine once, she ordered a new whip because she's into horses.
Yeah.
Any thoughts? Keep it aside from that. And it came in such the biggest box, you wouldn't believe it. But anyway, so my vinyl turned up. I was playing it. And so what it is, it's John Williams' A Life in Music.
Yeah.
All new recordings from the London Symphony Orchestra, which has on it Star Wars, Jurassic Park, Harry Potter, The Sorcerer's Stone, Raiders of the Lost Ark, E.T., Schindler's List, Hook, Saving Private Ryan, Jaws, and Superman. Could have been a double album because there's a lot more I could have had on this.
Yeah.
But a couple of the tracks had a bit of a scratch. You could hear it on the needle. So I've got the second copy in my hand now. That arrived today. So go to Amazon, they know how to do a delivery. But then again, I was a bit worried because I had to order something for the missus, and it was a cylindrical plastic rubber roll that you use on your back, so you can lie on it and you roll up and down on it. And it sort of massages your back.
Yeah,
and you can do it on different parts of your body and whatever. So when Amazon came this afternoon, it was one box, and it was like that plastic roll was sitting in the same box as the vinyl, but there was no airbags in there to protect the vinyl. So I took a photograph of that, but it's still sealed. I'm sure it'd be fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was that. Yeah. Gaming, interesting. I just don't like to pull the trigger sometimes, or you do. So I picked up Batman VR for $7.99 on the store.
Yay.
That was pretty cool.
I told you, didn't I?
Yeah,
said that was one you needed to get.
Yeah, but it was on sale, so $7.99 seemed a good deal at the time.
Yeah.
Also, I picked up Astrobot Rescue Missions, which is the character from the Playroom VR on the PlayStation, which is a little guy that looks like he's actually wearing the headset. So it's a proper game from what they did test with that, which is pretty cool. I played a little bit, so we can talk about that. And ironically, I pulled the trigger on Assassin's Creed. So
that does amuse me, to be honest.
Yeah, because I had a go at you about that, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
But then there's not a game coming out next year.
Yeah, but you were all set for, well, I'm going to leave it.
Yeah, I know. But I felt I was missing out.
Yeah, you were. And
with seeing more on Red Dead, God, and they've got Fallout 76 ordered. It's going to be tough.
I have to admit, Red Dead, I'm just not feeling it.
Well, I'm wondering if it's funny. Well, we'll talk about the other game, Assassin's Creed, and I just want to lead on to a bit of that anyway. But so how's your week been? How's your new job going?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, I started my new role for the Safeguarding Adults Board on Monday. And first thing on Monday was we had a team building event.
Right.
So you know what these things are like. So one of the questions that we got asked, one of the things we had to do was to say 2 true things about ourselves and 1 false, and then we had to guess what they were.
So did you use anything to do with gaming in there?
Well, no, what I said was, and see if you know, I mean, one of them you'll definitely know, so it's about the other 2. So I said that I had met Margaret Thatcher, that I dressed up as Captain Kirk to have my photo taken with William Shatner on the bridge of the Enterprise.
Yeah.
Or that I had been to America 4 times and had seen the space shuttle on the launch pad and wasn't impressed. So, which one is not right?
The American one.
The last one.
Yeah.
Correct. Because it's my wife who's been to America 4 times and she has seen the space shuttle on the launch pad and she wasn't impressed.
No.
And I said, are you ill?
Well, it's funny because I haven't put this photograph up. When I was playing a bit of VR, it was yesterday, I could hear click as if a photograph was taken. And that was the missus, wasn't it? She said, look, you look so sad. You don't get it. I need to put this headset on you and you see what I'm looking at.
Yeah, I think once I put it on, they'd sort of realise. But VR's one of those strange sort of things that you have to experience it to properly understand it. Yeah.
I just want to mention this. Actually, I will mention something else. Well, actually, no, I'll leave it for TV, actually. I'll probably do that. But yeah, no, it's an odd one. And I did play a little bit of Resident Evil as well, by the way. So
I saw you bought it. And the case for your VR headset.
Yeah, it sits nicely in there, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm interrupting yours. So Anything else?
Yeah, well, I mean, my new job, it's very much about project management and change culture.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to doing that because, to be honest, I like doing that kind of work. I've done a lot of change management in the past. So, but it's really strange, actually, because with some of the people who I'm now working with, I've worked with them for a couple of years, sort of on and off, as a different team that I would do joint things with. So I'm kind of like coming in, not being completely new and not knowing everyone. But I feel like I've been there for years. Do you know what I mean? Even though I've been there a week. And it's like my boss was the equivalent of my old boss, but for adults. So it's kind of like being really weird. I mean, I've learnt so much in a week. It is unbelievable.
Oh, really?
Oh, God, yeah. And the world of child safeguarding and adult safeguarding is very, very different. Because with adults, you've got to take into account mental capacity and that sort of thing. And you need much more consent-based in order to be able to put in interventions to help people. Yeah. Whereas children's is a different world entirely. Because children by their nature, presumably the government thinks more vulnerable, although I would argue that. But mental capacity and stuff like that comes into it. It's very different worlds, but very similar at the same time. I also did a bit of volunteering at Ripon Workhouse Museum, setting up their archives as well. So that was an interesting couple of hours that I did there. So, yeah, that's been sort of like my week. I mean, obviously, we have had the absolute, great week, haven't we, this week? Because we've had Assassin's Creed 4, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and Forza Horizon 4. That was where the 4 came in.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
we've had both of those this week, and I've been doing both of them. But the other thing I've been doing as well is I have been binge-watching The Walking Dead Season 8.
Yeah.
And I've watched a whole lot.
That's not bad going.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
But to be honest, every waking moment I could get it on, it's been on.
Yeah.
Because I didn't really discover it until The Walking Dead until season 8 was out. I tried it and I'd not liked it, and then something clicked with me, and then I decided I liked it, so I watched it all. And as I got to the end of season 7, where the Hilltop, the Kingdom, and Alexandria all fought back against Negan and the Saviors.
Yeah, because I think I've only seen it as far as Negan doing the dirty bad news on that first episode.
Oh, jeez, man! You've got to these last 2 seasons are the best. I mean, absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
And
knowing that how they're probably going to pan it with one character leaving as well.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those shows that's never been afraid of people leaving, because it killed off, a main member of a cast every season, just about.
Yeah.
So, but you got to catch up on these. It's just so worth it. And season 9's about to go out, so you're going to get further behind.
The box, I've got plenty of room in the box at the minute, so it's not too bad.
Yeah. There's only 16 episodes as well, and they're all 45 minutes, so...
Yeah, when you skip the adverts out.
There were no adverts in on Sky, is there?
I think when it's on Fox it is.
No, it's only at the beginning and at the end.
Oh, is it?
So all that you do is record it and then skip straight to 2 minutes and it starts.
Yeah.
That's what I've done. And then it does come up, the sort of like little animation that it does when it goes into adverts.
Yeah.
It does that twice and then it carries on. It doesn't show the adverts in between.
Right, okay.
So, you can avoid all of that sort of stuff. I think it's one of those ones that I know people just are going to skip the adverts.
Yeah, true. I mean, adverts these days get a bit of a short stay with us, don't they? It's really one of those things. Well,
that's the beauty of digital recording, isn't it? So... And don't forget, of course, tonight, Doctor Who.
I know. I'm really gutted that we have a recording now, actually. I'll probably watch it tomorrow night.
I'll probably watch it while I'm editing the show, to be quite honest. I'll watch it on iPlayer.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. We'll go back to me after you finish. So I just want to mention something. But,
well, that's it. That's me finished.
Yeah. So you said about the extended cut.
Yeah.
So that comes with the special edition and the extended cut of the movie.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to buy that as well because what I'm getting is the 4K movie of Superman, which is not, I think, doesn't mention that at all.
Well, double check to make sure it's the right, you're getting that one.
Yeah, because I'm just, this is just a Blu-ray. It's not a 4K.
Right.
So the Blu-ray, so I'm looking at Amazon, it says here, Superman the Movie Extended Cut and Special Edition. So I'm guessing that's to do with the Donner cut, I presume. But that's just a Blu-ray. And what I'm getting, if I go to my orders, is, or arriving the 5th of November, is Superman the Movie. So it doesn't say which cut that will be. It doesn't actually say, there's no back cover to it at the minute.
No, that's a shame. I must admit, I was thinking about, the 4 Blu-ray box set. I was thinking about getting that of the Superman movies, I must admit. I'm not that bothered about the super duper extended cut. I
do like the Donner cut, to be honest. Even though, because they put those bits back in that they didn't actually use, and it's a bit weird. But actually, just looking at this, hold on, if I interested to see what the running time of this the 4K is, if it says. Let's have a look. If it mentions it here, it normally would do, wouldn't it?
Normally does.
Yeah, I can't see a running time. Anyway, I'll look at that later.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I did forget one thing. I did have a package arrive yesterday, which I was expecting, but not yet.
Okay.
I got my Han Solo dice through the post.
Okay. Where are you going to put those? In the car?
No. No. And actually, they come in an incredibly small box, like a ring box.
They're not very big, are they?
They're the same scale as what they are on the film.
Yeah.
They are quite heavy, gold coloured, but they come with inside the boxes are like a really little pouch that you put them in. But they look really good quality, actually. They're better than I thought that they would be.
Yeah.
But obviously there is sort of like a bit of a collector's piece, so I've collected it.
Yeah, so something you haven't read me for yet, obviously, because my other vinyl that turned up was the Spider-Man soundtrack.
Well, no, I did that online, didn't I?
It did.
Because I said, if you buy the game, you get the soundtrack free.
No, but hold on a minute, I don't want a digital soundtrack. How dare you?
No, I mean when you play it.
No, it's not the same though, because I played the first couple of tracks to see what it's like.
Yeah.
They've done well with it, from what I can gather.
Yeah, you do know that when you play the first couple of tracks, it doesn't matter how much that you squeeze your middle two fingers in the middle of your hand, you're not playing the game.
No, of course not. But no, it's a nice package. The two vinyls, so double LP. But I'll get it one day when it goes down in price.
You're missing out on some of the best games.
No, but I'm playing some of the best games. You can't play them all.
No, I know you can't.
And they're not going to disappear. And, it's just too. Forget February when that turns up as well. It's going to be ridiculous.
February's worse than this time of the year, I think.
Yeah.
To be honest.
But anyhow, anything else?
Nope.
No.
No longer a dream, but a reality.
Okay, so if we roll into the news, did you put any news in this week? I heard there was some
I did.
PS Plus announcements by any chance?
Yep. They're supposedly early announcement from Sony for PS4 games to be given away next month in November's PlayStation Plus, which is really unusual because I can't remember them ever releasing anything like this, but it's been reported by numerous different sources.
Yeah.
So it's either a very, very successful sort of like practical joke or, fake release, or there might be some grain of truth about it.
Yeah.
So the games you'll be able to grab next month, supposedly, are going to be Bulletstorm Full Clip Edition and Yakuza Kiwami, which isn't a bad selection.
I think I've got 0 sitting in my list.
Yeah.
which I've only just started, but again, yeah, right, okay.
Well, I mean, I've completed Bulletstorm Full Clip Edition, which was really good. I enjoyed. Well, it's the remaster of it, but I enjoyed that. I actually enjoyed it on this time round much more than I did on the 360, which was a bit weird. But that wasn't too bad. A Bethesda game as well. Bethesda game I completed.
Yeah, just the only one you ever have completed.
No, it's not.
I know.
Skyrim. Not Skyrim. Elder Scrolls, Oblivion.
Yeah. You haven't done. Have you played Skyrim?
Yeah.
How far did you
have.
get?
About 40% of the way through the campaign.
Yeah, okay.
And I just gave up, to be honest. I just lost all interest in it.
That is such a great game. Because you like Game of Thrones, though, that should be up your street now.
You would, in theory, you would think that, wouldn't you? But it's not. And it's one of those games I've got on every format as well. Why get games out in every format that I'm not particularly fond of is beyond me.
Yeah, I don't get that. It's really weird, isn't it?
It is somewhat.
Any other news?
No, that's all I've got.
Shall I throw it in the mix?
Go on, then.
So, as we're all aware, and the sad news that Telltale Games had collapsed as a company.
Oh, yeah, didn't this come out earlier today? Or
yes.
Yesterday.
At New York Comic Con.
Yeah.
So, Skybound have picked up to finish the Walking Dead season.
Yes.
So those that have got it will get to see the end of Clementine's story.
Yeah.
Which is good news, really, because I think everyone. I mean, I all feel sorry for the guys that were laid off, but on the other side, you think, I'm not going to get to play the end of my game and see the story. But the deal was announced at New York Comic Con. And Skybound and they have come together to finalise a way of finishing the game. So we'll probably hear more about that soon. What
I don't get, though, is this game's been in development for quite some time. Why does it need any more time when they're already, releasing it? I think that this is where the Telltale games have always fallen down, and that's about the release schedule. I think that they've rushed out the first episode and then, just messed about with the other ones, and this is what the problem has always been with Telltale, and that's why no one buys it at first.
I got breaking news on my phone from the missus.
Oh yeah.
Walking Dead actor Scott Wilson has died.
Has he?
He died of leukemia, had complications.
Oh, poor old Herschel.
Yeah, real shame. Yeah, it says here, Scott Wilson, the famously played Herschel Green on the AMC series Walking Dead, has died at age 76 in Los Angeles with complications from leukemia. So, believe that, would you?
No, that's a shame.
Sad note to leave the news on, but there you go.
But, I mean, just thinking of the walking, it's a shame about him, real shame. Just going back to about the Clementine story, I understand that Morgan Jones as a character is going to appear on that one, on The Walking Dead, or was supposed to.
What, Negan?
Like crossover. No, not Negan. Morgan Jones.
Sorry,
played by Lenny James.
I'm getting confused because Negan's played by Jeffrey Morgan.
Yeah, Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yeah.
No, there's Morgan Jones, who's the black guy with the stick.
Yes.
Who's, lost his marbles, he'd saved Rick once when he had a child.
Yeah, he became a bit of a priest, didn't he?
Yeah, sort of. He's not the priest, though. That's a completely different guy again.
Oh, is it? Oh, sorry. I'm
no.
Out of touch with it.
No, he's the older black guy on the show.
Okay.
The priest, can't remember.
No, sorry.
Who plays him?
No, I'm getting confused. Sorry, he isn't a priest, but I know the guy you're on about. The one that wields the sword with the stick all the time. The stick,
yeah, not the sword. Yeah, he doesn't have a sword.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he was supposed to be on the Telltale game, so I understood. Which I think is quite nice as a bit of a crossover between the two. But what I would actually really like to see is Clementine coming into season 9, which I think would be really quite cool. So it's like a character that originated in the game, moving over to being in the TV series. Because you had Michonne before, had her own adventure on Telltale.
Yeah. She did, yeah. That's the last one I played. I haven't played the season after that for Walking Dead, so I'm a season and a bit behind.
Yeah.
But
the priest that you were on about was Father Gabriel, played by Seth Gillian.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. But, yeah, interesting. Okay, would you like to do new releases this time and I'll do the charts?
Yeah, sure. So, new releases this week. We have Goosebumps, the game, on the Switch on the 9th. Also on the 9th, we have The Occupation, PS4 and Xbox One. Space Hulk Tactics, PS4, Xbox One and PC. And WWE 2K19 on PS4, Xbox One and PC. And then on the 12th, we have Bridge Constructor Compilation on the PS4. Call of Duty Black Ops 4 on the PS4, Xbox One and PC. Disgaea 1 Complete on PS4 and Switch. And then The World Ends With You Final Remix on the Switch.
That sounds like a Bond movie.
A little bit.
Yeah. Anything there interest you at all?
Once upon a time, I would have said Call of Duty, but not now.
No,
because of the way that they've gone with it, they're removing the single-player story campaign. Completely made me lose all interest.
Yeah, I do agree with you on that one, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's a franchise that I've lost a lot of love with.
Yeah. And I always used to like playing the single-player campaigns, but not now. So, yeah, I think it's a big shame is that. Other than that, not a lot there.
Ever had a thought of playing maybe Bridge Constructor?
I've got it on the Xbox.
Oh, there you go.
I haven't got the Portal Bridge Constructor, though, because there's a Portal one, and then there's also a Stunt one, as well as the normal Bridge Constructor.
Okay. So, charts then. Okay, so from 6 to 5, going up, we've got Grand Theft Auto 5. God knows only why. From 3 down to 4, we've got Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. From 2 down to 3, we've got Shadow of the Tomb Raider. And from 1 down to 2, we've got Marvel Spider-Man. But there's only one reason they've all gone down. It's because, yeah, you've guessed it, FIFA 19 is in at number 1.
What did I say last week? And it's been everywhere as well. Everywhere I've looked, going into Tesco, went into Morrison's, they all have massive FIFA things up.
They do, yeah.
Honestly, people, EA Access, wait a couple of months, you get it for free.
It isn't a couple of months, though, is it?
Well, it's not that long.
You get the other one. Yeah, the one I've got the FIFA. I've got FIFA 18 still, so yeah. But I'm just going to play that to get my fix. I don't think I'd go up a grade yet. If I was going to spend money in a game, there's some other damn more interesting games that were more available to play. But you know. Okay, so PS Plus we've mentioned.
And Gold. We did that both last week.
Yeah. So should we go swiftly on the gaming this week?
Yep.
Okay, doke. So Destiny for me. Not
surprise.
Surprise. I'm now 544 and been enjoying doing the extra bits of content that have been flying around in the Dreaming City where I can do. The only thing I've got a bit of a beef with now is my RNG isn't very good. And it's not good for me, and it's not good for quite a lot of people still. And Bungie are aware of it. That for me, I've had about 5 exotic drops since the DLC. Not one of them's new content. It's ironic, isn't it?
I've got to start playing this game because if your luck is out, that means my luck might be in.
But I'm not the only one. I've been listening to me Guardian Radio podcast, and a lot of people are suffering from that. It's really weird.
Well, they're trying to make it tougher, aren't they?
Exactly, but they're going to try and tweak the drops for that. The same way that the Malthusian hand cannon is now available in Gambit, but that drop's been pretty rare, so they're going to try and push that through a bit quicker so people can pick it up.
Is still selling last year's stuff?
At the moment, yeah.
It's about time he started selling stuff a bit more modern then, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, do you know what? I picked up a couple of weapons this week, but I'm picking them up at 540, and they work. They're still good weapons to use.
Yeah.
So that's all right. And I'm grinding out a couple of exotic at the moment because I'm not getting any that drop. So I'm halfway through Cade's missions to go for his gun, and there's another one that started off with I can't think of her name now, but the girl that sits over in the corner on her own. We never see her anymore. We never go to her for the ships, and I'm doing a quest on there as well. So there's a bit of a grinding in Crucible, but I don't mind. It's a bit of fun.
Amanda Holiday.
Thank you. Yeah. So that's ongoing, and the thing is, every day I like to do a few bounties and a few bits and bobs to get some more engrams and just push my character up. So that's what grinding's all about, and Destiny's good at that at the minute.
Yeah, I have to admit, I'm not bothered about the grind, to be honest. I'll just wait until the next lot of DLC is when they stick on an extra 50 light levels, and then I'll just suddenly be 600 the same as everybody else.
I don't think that will be happening this year, though. or even next. I don't think that's with the new content that's coming, because we have got some other bits and pieces turning up in about a month or two as well, so some other bits on the season pass and everything, so it'd be pretty cool. So I actually have played on the PS4 this week, believe it or not.
Yeah.
But only on PSVR. Funny that, isn't it?
Yeah, it is funny.
So Resident Evil, I actually started that just to get it. I've been I like to play at night time, but I've just been a bit tired recently, so playing PSVR at night is a bit of a grind this week for late night. But
I have to admit, I can't understand people who say they don't play Resident Evil VR at night when you've got the headset on.
Don't make a bit of difference, does it?
No.
Exactly. But where I was a bit tired, just doing VR in general was just the reason for that. But set that up. That was pretty straightforward for putting your HDR and all that settings and that. The game started off well. Once you see the first intro with your girlfriend on the ship and you get to go in the car, and then onwards it's in VR. And I'm pretty impressed. I didn't say I got queasy at first, but I'm just getting used to the controls. Because there is a small tutorial for VR in a padded cell, believe it or not. And you have to go to these certain pinpoints in the room using your controls. So it just gets a feel of how it plays.
Do you have to walk about, or is it one you can sit in a chair and do? You
can sit in a chair, but you still walk about.
So you use a controller to move?
Yes, you do, yeah.
Right, okay. So basically what they've done is they've got the original version 7 of the game, but you've effectively got the VR experience while you're playing it the way that you would do the original. Yeah,
the only thing what you have to do is really weird is that with the right stick you look around, and the left stick you move. If you see what I mean.
That's normal. Yeah, that's normal.
But the way it's not, sometimes it's not always a quite fluid move on the movement. It's more like sections. Maybe I don't know if it's a setup or not, I don't know. Maybe people might be able to tell me. So the way you're doing it, you sort of notice that Judd move. It's not as fluid as it would be in sort of 2D.
Okay.
But that doesn't deter from the experience. And I just started the game. If anyone's, I'm sure you've all played it, but I got out the car, got as far as getting to the house, really. That's all. I just tried it out at that point there and went into the house. And I'm thinking, I'm not going to like this. I'll enjoy it, I'm sure. But it's very creepy just being in that 3D environment. And I have stuck it on easy, to be honest.
Okay.
I have played it on normal on the Xbox and finished it. But for this experience, I think I just needed to have it on easy just to make it a bit easier to play.
Okay.
So, but I'm sure it'd still be I know the jump scares in it, but I'm sure it'd be fun.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be.
Yeah, and you won't touch anything like that, will you? You coward.
I'm not bothered about that at all.
You should.
I just don't like horror. It's just not it's not because I'm scared of it. I just like, for example, I don't like Coronation Street in the same way as I don't like horror. It just doesn't interest me.
Yeah, I wouldn't put horror in the same same sentence, but yeah, that was okay. So Also, I've started Astro Rescue Mission. As I say, this character was on the Playroom freebie on PlayStation. And I've just done a couple of puzzles, started off, and then unfortunately it crashed as I went to put my character on the flag of the second mission. And I had to turn it off, so I'm probably going to replay that again. I'm sure that would happen on any other machine as well, just one of those things. But It's really interesting that 3D VR environment you're in really works well. And if you've played the Playroom before, you know you move your bot character around picking up coins in a platform sense, beating characters up and so on and so forth.
So how does a platform game work in VR? A 3D, is it like a 2.5D or is it a 3D?
You're in a complete 3D virtual environment of the platform. So it's not like you're going from left to right in 2D. You're actually in there and you can go anywhere that you're allowed to go in that environment to get where you need to go.
Yeah.
But it's just a typical 3D environment. What you do is really cool because you get your PlayStation controller and you see an invisible one in front of you and you line it up with it and it then comes alive. And at that point, there is the controller is being used. You use the finger pad on the front there for swiping, for example, to do different things in the environment.
Mm.
And a couple of neat little things you have to do when you're walking along, because you walk in a straight line.
Yeah,
and you can then get your characters to go left and right at the same time. And you might see a wall or a metal strut. You have to look round, so you have to lean forward to look where he's going. So you're like the camera in front of him, if you're with me.
Okay, yeah.
And also you'll come against some pads which you can throw bombs on them to open up another part of the construction on the puzzle, and it'll then move it forward for you to walk along it.
Mm.
Also, you have to headbutt some of them as well. So you'd be right up against it with your head, you just tap it with your head.
Yeah.
It's totally bizarre, but it's so crystal clear, this game. The colours are vibrant. You know, I mean, I don't play too many platformers these days, but back in the day, your Sonics and Marios of collecting coins in any shape or form, this is what it is. And it's really good fun. I will elaborate more when I get to play it more next week. I am on call next week, so the thing is, VR is difficult unless you have it on vibrate and put it between your legs so you can feel your phone go off.
So I was wondering what you were talking about for a moment then. I was thinking, didn't know we were suddenly going to an X-rated one.
Yeah, how else am I going to do it?
Is that when you reach out and feel like you can almost touch it?
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, it's inexpensive. That's why I picked it up.
Yeah.
But it's a really good game. I'm enjoying it. It's a good bit of fun. So yeah, I'll save my Assassin's Creed with yours actually. So we'll blend that together. So I played Forza on the demo and thoroughly enjoyed what I did play. It looked good, played well.
Yeah.
But you can enlighten me more on that, can't you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously it's Forza in the UK. Which, you know, we're talking about Forza Horizon 4 for anybody who is living under a rock and doesn't know. But yeah, Forza Horizon's this time set in the UK as opposed to anywhere, you know, super hot and exotic, which is a bit of a shame.
But then again, it could be super hot because we've had a great summer this year.
Yeah, but it's still, you know, always feels better to be somewhere hot somewhere else.
Yeah.
So the game, I mean, it looks absolutely fantastic. There's two sort of modes. There's your 4K high quality mode, and then there's a 1080p 60 frames per second mode, which is the one I've been playing on, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's a compressed version of the UK. Is it just basically Scotland though, to be honest? No, the Cotswolds, the Lake District, the Highlands, Edinburgh features part of it, and the Moors as well. So there's, you know, all over.
They've taken little chunks of the UK and joined it together, haven't they?
Yeah, And when to be honest, when you're driving through Edinburgh, you can really tell, especially when you're coming up and seeing Edinburgh Castle there and that sort of stuff. That's all quite, impressive for anyone who's actually seen it. So
I was about to say, I haven't seen Edinburgh yet, so yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, if you haven't seen it, you haven't seen it, but I've been to Edinburgh a number of times, and, it looked pretty authentic to me the way when I was looking. Weather effects, Forza, really, this is where Forza stands out from a lot of the other ones. The weather effects are simply stunning, and it really captures the change in the UK environment over, the course of the game, because you do different events at different times of year. So you'll have the summer events, you'll have the autumn events, the winter events, etc.
So from what I've read and listened about, so this is going to be a weekly thing, that the season will change weekly.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, it will do. So every week the season will change.
Right.
And then there'll be, I suppose, like the way Destiny, there'll be missions to do for that week within that environment.
Are you assuming that, or have they said that?
No, they've said that.
Right, okay.
So the season will change once a week.
Yeah.
And so you'll have missions, obviously you probably have missions in on the snow and ice to do regarding the river and that, which you wouldn't be able to do in autumn because the river's not frozen then, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. But not that we get that many frozen rivers in this country.
No, but obviously they will be in the game.
Yeah, and of course you will get that more in Scotland, being that much further up north as well.
They're a bit bluer up there, aren't they?
Well, it's certainly colder in the winter, when, they have snow way before we do.
Yeah, yeah.
And of course you have snow even later than I do.
It's really weird, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like what you call winter, we call a slightly cold day in the middle of summer.
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it? Did you get to play with your Bond cars?
No, I didn't.
Why not?
Because that's a separate download.
Oh, so you haven't got the Ultimate Edition then?
No, I've just gone on the standard edition that's on Game Pass.
Yeah, I couldn't do that. That's the reason I haven't got it at the moment. I'm
not that bothered.
I want it all. I just can't have half a game.
Well, I mean, we talked about this offline before, but to be honest, it really, really doesn't bother me in the slightest about not having, 200 cars that are, paid for DLC. That I've paid a fortune for, to be honest. I'm quite happy with the standard game, and especially now it's come with Game Pass.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the 2 DLC packs that will come out for the game will be in that Ultimate Edition anyway. Obviously, there's the special packs they do bring out, like the Bond car, which is a paid bit of DLC. You either have one or you don't.
Yeah,
but it's just one to have, isn't it? I've seen some of the guys that have been playing it. I've seen some of their photographs, and it looks real. To be honest,
some of the aspects of the game do look incredibly realistic.
You blink and you you're thinking you really are in the UK in the real world.
Yeah, and this is going to sound probably maybe a bit of a stupid thing, but I know that they've captured the hues of the early evening light in this country. Do you know what I mean? It's just like,
it's just where for me, I'm always driving at that time of night. Is that sun's there at the time when you really can't see, and you have to sort of slow down because it's so bright, and that sun's at that point on the sunset. Do you mean that? Yeah,
it's a little bit of that, but also they've really got the shades of, like the yellow on an evening and that for this part of the world. And I know that might sound like a bit of a daft thing, but I've been to other parts of the world and the lighting just seems to be very slightly different. Not a lot, but very slightly. And I think that the way that the skies and whatever are rendered in terms of that early evening look quite like really nice, that you get in really nice days in this country, or very clear skies. So, I think in terms of looking at it as a game, I think it's very difficult to say anything other than it looks absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. And also especially when you get the weather effects in. But, I mean, this is a game, the the game is about the experience of driving rather than the mechanics of driving. But Forza 4, I think, does manage to sort of support those motorheads or petrol heads, whatever you want to call them, and the casual gamer who'll play it as well. I think everybody's going to get something out of it. So if you're a real petrol head, you can get under the hood of the car and tinker about with just about everything that you can imagine, to sort of like sort out the ride of your vehicle. And also you can share the configurations and download other people's custom, configurations of vehicles as well as liveries as well.
Yeah, we've had that for years, haven't we? Now?
Yeah. So that's a pretty standard sort of thing. But also, if you're not into that, which I'm certainly not, then you can just pick up a car and blast off, with that car and have just as good an experience, to be quite honest. So there are numerous things to do in the game like normal. There's the barn finds, but there's also beauty spots. And one of the ones I'm quite liking to do is there's like this side quest that's not part of the main, racing story. But there is one where you're doing filming for a stunt movie. Yes,
I did play in the demo. I did the first part of the stunt missions.
Yeah.
Where you go through I think you go for a jump where you've got...
Yes. Where a windmill at the top of a hill.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's supposed to be in the Cotswolds, isn't it? Yeah, there's other ones where, for example, you'll race downhill against a hovercraft. Like, one of the sea-link ones that they used to have for, Dover to Calais sort of thing. One of those big ones. You'll race against one of them downhill, which looks fantastic, to be honest. Yeah. It really did. It was quite exhilarating. It's obviously very scripted as well, just like the Fast and the Furious one was, where you were racing against that plane.
Yes, I'm with you.
Do you remember that one? Where unless you really did a bad job, you were going to win because it scripted it so that you would win, sort of thing. And I think I beat it by like a quarter of a second or something like that. But, it's all that sort of stuff. But to be honest, it doesn't really matter one way or the other, because it's sort of like when you're doing it, it doesn't feel like that. Do you know what I mean? And I think if I had done badly, I would have lost. But I was, it's Forza. We're used to playing Forza. We know how to handle the cars and that sort of thing on there.
Yeah.
But, so I just think, it's really, gives it a really nice feeling experience, whether or not you are that petrol head or whether or not you're just a more casual experience.
If you haven't, go on.
Sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, if you haven't got this at the moment and want to have a look at the demo does give you each of those seasons to have a little look and see what they look like, and they're gorgeous.
Yeah.
Because I'm assuming what seasons at the moment for you? What have you got going?
I'm in. Let's see. I think I'm in winter at the moment.
Because I think if it's once a week, so when did it come out?
No, the campaign, the storyline, in order to, certainly when you first started, because I haven't played it for hours and hours,
right?
Probably about 3 or 4 hours,
okay.
I would say so far. When you're actually playing it, in order to progress to the next season, you have to get so many sort of followers,
right?
And then once you get that many, you go on to the next season.
Okay, so it's probably online where it'll change, maybe then once a week.
I think that'll be where it'll be changing once a week, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but and nevertheless, it's a fantastic game, and well, I mean, kudos for them to put it on the Game Pass. Yeah. I don't know how much money they make either way on that. Do you know what I mean?
And it's a Players Anywhere as well, so it also is on PC.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's good kudos as well. But to me, my most significant issue with this as a game is what all of the Horizon series has had as a problem.
Okay.
And that is very simple. It's the travel from one event to another kind of gets in the way of playing the game. So, for example, you might have done everything on the map before it's about to open up into another load of new races, and then the next race you've got to do is like 8 kilometres away, which feels like a really long way to drive. But even if you're going across country, I was going
to say this because in the demo I did the crowfly job, breaking through the brickwork just until obviously if you won't hit a house, but anything else you can just go straight across it.
And really big trees.
Yeah.
Yeah. But everything else is sort of like destructible. But it's still a problem with it. I would have much preferred them to have, had it so you didn't have to go and travel miles and miles and miles.
If I remember rightly, in the last one, once the map's open at a certain point, a lot of areas, you can fast travel different areas.
Yeah, but you have to pay for them, or at least when you started with that ability.
Yeah.
Which again then sort of discourages you from doing it because I think it was quite a lot, certainly more than you would win in a race. Mm. So then you ended up not using it, and then it just becomes a consecutive problem.
But in the game. Don't forget though to download the Forza app for the Xbox. And
so you get all of your bonuses.
Yeah, so you get all your bonuses, and you get your money for each of the games as well.
And you can get that app on the PC as well.
Yeah, use it on your phone. I've done it with that before.
Yeah, but I mean, to be honest, overall, if you are a casual racing game fan or a hardcore one, I think that this is probably at the moment the best racing experience on a console or a PC. Mm. Which really is hampered by the need to travel to the events. And that's only a minor thing, but sometimes when you just want to get to just want to do the next race, but you're going to have to travel for about 2 or 3 minutes to get there.
But then again, it
might not sound a lot, but it does start to grind.
But if you like racing games and you like like driving cars, there's the joy of getting there anyway. But if you're not that into it, then that is a hamper for you because you just want to go and go grind the missions out. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Where I can just sit around I could sit around, put some music on, and I could just drive around the game, not even do a race. Do you know what I mean? And if that's not your thing, then you're going to want to get between each mission and just cane them out.
Yeah, exactly. And that's more my approach at it because, I want to do the game, complete the game, move on to the next game.
Yeah.
But I want to still enjoy the game that I'm playing. But I'm not enjoying the, having to go 15 kilometres from one event to another because that's, 7 or 8 minutes driving when you get distances like that, which then makes it even worse. So it's just a minor thing, but it is a problem that the whole series has had.
Yeah, well, I think it's probably more of an issue for you, but where I think a lot of people love racing games, they don't mind it, I don't think.
Well, I think the hardcore ones, but I think the people who are a bit more casual with racing games, like myself, I think it'll grate a little bit.
Yeah, maybe. Nice to hear what people think about that, what their thoughts are on it. So, okay, any more on that?
No, that's it.
So would you like to bring in probably one of the best looking games of the year as well, I'd say?
So Assassin's Creed Odyssey is finally here, and what a polished game it is.
Do you know what? I need to play this at night, shut all the curtains, if you know what I mean, because get that light out off the TV screen because it looks freaking incredible.
It does. Absolutely.
It looks better. I'm sure. Well, I'll have to chuck between the two games. I think it looks better than the last one, to be honest.
Well, it should do. It's a new iteration.
Well, no. But with Origin, the last one was in Egypt.
Yes,
and that had a 4K enhancement, and that looked gorgeous. And this one just as much, or even better. Yeah, I think maybe the environment makes it a bit different anyway.
Let's face it, we know what this one is. This is Sparta.
Sorry about that, people.
Had to say it, really.
So the game's set in 431 BCE.
Yeah.
I've been there. So you start the game on Kefalonia, which is the first island.
Yeah.
And I've been there. I went there for my honeymoon.
Did you?
Because that island suffers from earthquakes, believe it or not.
I can believe it. There's a lot of things like that around that area of the world, isn't it?
Oh, God, yeah. But what a it's a gorgeous looking game. And I think not playing the last one as much, I'm feeling it's very much similar setup on the RPG element.
Yes, I think it is very much. I mean, obviously, it's a very strong RPG because when you level up, you get the skills that you can then unlock specific things to do. In your skill trees, and there's 3 different ones. There's the assassin, there's the hunter, and I can't remember what the last one was. But there's those 3 sort of like avenues to go down, and each one gives you different abilities, some of which are mapped to keys, some of which are automatic. So, for example, you can, when you assassinate someone, automatically loot the body.
Yes, and isn't it great that you just hit Y button once and not have to hold it, except for the larger crates, which is a mission.
Yeah.
Anything that you're looting on route, you can just hit the Y button once and you're done.
Yes.
Even when you're riding your horse.
Yeah, it takes out that whole sort of thing of, having to hold the Y button to pick up your ammo.
Yeah. And I did like the element, which I did see, they had the same element, I think, in Red Dead as well. Yeah. Where if you're close to your target where you're riding your horse to, you can go on autopilot.
No, that's on any road. You just double tap A or the X button, and then it'll just automatically follow the road as if you've got a map.
Yeah, that's it.
A route.
Which Red Dead did something similar, I think, remember rightly. Because I think I'm sure they borrowed from each other. I mean, the best horses for Red Dead started it off, and then I think I'm trying to think in the timeline. I think Assassin's Creed did it first. The
original one had horses first.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's absolutely fantastic. I mean, it recounts a secret fictional history of a war fought between city-states in ancient Greece. That's a storyline about it, and you play the role of a mercenary, and you'll be able to either fight for Athens, Delian, or the Delian League, or the Peloponnesians League, led by the Sparta.
Yeah. Now, which route did you take? Female or male?
Male.
Okay, I went female.
I knew you would. I knew you would.
She looked pretty cool, I thought.
Yeah, you will always go for a female.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Now, how far have you got in the game? Because I've got a couple of questions where the way I'm playing at the moment, and so what level of character are you?
Level 6.
Okay, so I probably are you still on Kefalonia, or have you moved on from there?
I've just done my first mission off that island.
Okay. Because there's a part of this game which I'm not going to say is it going to be annoying, but you have these mercenaries.
Yes, and you need to avoid them as much as you can when you first start. This is
probably the annoying part of the game. I'm at level 4 at the moment.
Yeah.
So I think basically Kefalonia is like a training mission island, if anything.
I think it's your initial boosting island for your levels.
Yeah.
To be honest, because obviously you start at level 1, and I had a bit of a problem with my character, and I ended up messing about for ages because of something really quite stupid, but also really quite stupid in the game. I'd done stupid and something in the game.
Yeah.
So, excuse me, when you've done your Sparta bit at the beginning, the I am Sparta, you then end up going to Catalonia, and you're outside your house.
Yeah, the story starts.
And then some guys the story starts, some guys come and attack you. So you deck them, and then you have to go and meet this guy who owes you money.
Should we mention a bit before that, though, because this is quite crucial. Because this game is going to have a direction within the story and how you play it, with how you interact in the game.
Yes. So if you steal, it'll do certain
and those
things.
Characters those 2 dudes that were hassling you at the beginning of the game, you can either kill them or tell them to be on their way.
Yes.
And obviously, depending which way you play that, it'll be interesting to see how this game will turn out, I think.
Did you let them go or kill them?
I just say on your way.
Yeah, so did I.
but I have alluded to it a little bit. But yes, so carry on.
So as soon as that bit's finished, it tells you, right, your next thing you've got to do is go to your chest and get your equipment, and then go and see Marcus or whatever his name is. I can't remember.
We'll call him Marcus, because I like that sort of name.
Marcus, yeah. So you climb up onto the top of your building, which is where you keep your treasure chest, which of course is always, you always put it on your roof, don't you? In full view of everybody.
So no one can climb up and get it if they've got any choice. But
yeah, unless they're an assassin, in which case then they can cling to anything. And so I got it. I went into the screen, which is obviously teaching you about equipping your stuff. And I equipped 2 pieces out of the 3, because when I went into the bit where it was about your cod piece sort of thing, there wasn't anything there other than 2 level 5 things, which came with, because I got the Ultimate Edition, were DLC that came with it.
Yeah, I got that, yeah.
So I thought, right, okay, so I'm equipped, but it kept coming up with the message of equip all of your things and go and see this guy. So I thought, well, look, I'll just go and find the guy, because, when you have equipped some of the equipment, this little girl tells you where he is. Yeah. So I thought, right, I'll just go and find him. That'll be straightforward enough. So I went in a direction that she said, and then I went to exactly where he was, but it didn't start. And then I thought, right, okay, so
what you done wrong?
Maybe I haven't found him. Do you know what I mean? I only know it was where he was because of later on.
So is this the mission where you got to go to the vineyard?
Yes.
Right, okay.
Yeah. So I went to the vineyard. I went to where he is supposed to be, and he wasn't there. And I thought, that's weird. So I then had a look around, went into a cave nearby. Have you been in that cave?
I've done a few caves, actually.
The first cave where they're saying about, the gods have been really evil to me. And whatever,
that dude, yeah. And then, yeah, I've done that one, yeah.
So I went down there.
You pick up bits of armour, don't you?
You do, yeah. But bearing in mind, I was level 1, okay? Went in, well, the guys in there, they were level 2, and they absolutely creamed me every time.
Really?
Really? Well, they were level 2, and I was level 1, and don't forget, I didn't have all my armour on either.
I'm sure they were same level as what I was when I went in there.
There might have been if you were level 2. But they were level 2, I was level 1. So I ended up having to go back before, in the story, before I went into that cave in order to escape that mission. So I then started having to fiddle around with all of the menus. And then suddenly this cod piece that I was supposed to equip suddenly appeared in my inventory. Okay. So I put it on, and then I went back to the vineyard, and there was a guy. And I thought, that is so stupid, because I'd obviously clearly missed, or it wasn't, I couldn't see it, or it wasn't showing that a piece of equipment was left to think. There was nothing guiding me to where it was.
Now,
other than saying you haven't equipped everything, and every time I looked, I couldn't see it.
Now, when you set the game up to play it, there's another ticks boxing exercise to do, isn't there?
Yeah, there is.
And there's 2 ways to play the game.
Yes.
So one way is guided, and one way is exploration. Yeah. Did you have it on exploration?
No, I had guided.
Okay, because that might have been, maybe there was something missing, because the idea of that is to make sure that you want to do more exploring without finding it, if you're with me.
Yeah, no, I thought I'll go through the tutorial just in case I've added something that I'm going to miss.
Because I started the game and I went over to the sea. My first point of contact, I thought, I'm going to go down to these question marks down by the beach, and there was like a wreck. Yeah. So I did that, and I did a couple more, and I thought, okay, I'll go. I just did a few question marks basically, and found a couple of caves which gave me some armor, and some of it I still couldn't wear because I was only level.
It's too high powered. Yeah.
But my beef was with this mercenary, because he's been hassling me since I was level 3, and he's level 5. Yeah. So I get on my horse and get the heck out of there. Yeah. And one time, I'll tell you what I did do. I actually fast travelled to the waypoint where you open up the map from the synchronization. Yeah. And then I could see him hanging around where the next main mission I had to go.
Have you got your bow?
No.
Right. Well, I started to encounter him when I did the bow mission.
Which one's that? Because I need to get my bow. That's more important for me because I've actually opened up. I've had a couple of skill points in the tree.
Yeah. If you go after you've gone through the main quest for a bit, you get directed to this woman who, because you have to go and beat up a guy to get money from, and then come back, and then you go on to another mission, which is to try and persuade this woman who also owes the other guy money, to pay up or something, and you end up helping her because her supply of wood has been taken over by mercenaries.
Okay, so I'll tell you what. Yeah, guys, if you say this is very early in the game, so hopefully we're not spoiling it for you.
Yeah, you're talking about the first couple of hours that this is happening. This is quite a while ago for me in the story, and some of these are side missions as well. But what is interesting is because there's animals in the area.
Some of them are a bit overpowered in some places.
Yeah, some of them are. Well, they're leveled as well. But because these animals are in some of the areas, they'll attack other people as well.
I noticed that because I went to the lumberyard and I needed to find the two treasure chests there. And as I was outside the sort of the gate area, I could see three of them having a go at three of them. So I was waiting for them to do a bit more damage before I went in there.
You see, I think I went to a port which had a load of lumber around it as well. I think it was at the north end of the island. And everybody had been killed by wild animals, and the wild animals had gone off. Because when I was coming up to it, it was saying, you'll have to approach so that, you don't get seen. Yeah. There was no problem, because after looking around for ages and having my eagle flying around, because, you know that's better than the eagle vision, having an eagle that tells you what's what. Yeah. It's better than a drone even, It was flying around, and I was not picking up anyone, and then I just brazenly walked through this village area. No one attacked me. Everyone was dead.
Oh, weird.
Which was really weird. So I just went and looted the bits I wanted, went back to see this woman about the bow, and said, right, okay, I've sorted out the bad guys that, who were holding on to your wood. Here's an example. Oh, thank you very much. I'll create you a bow. Right. So she does a bow.
Now, ironically for me, I've done there's a few question marks still to do in Kefalonia. I think there might be one or two. I have to maybe check them out. But I come across this woman that was praying to this bit of fire by a wall, and she went, oh, hi, it's you. And she wanted to give me this mission, but ironically, I'd already done it, unwittingly knowing it. Oh, here's a spear. Oh, thank you very much. So that was a quick quest, because I'd already found the tunnel in the cave, done that one before I'd actually been to her to get it in the first place. Yeah. So it does work very well. I did the shark mission as well.
I haven't done that one.
Haven't you? You see, I did that. I went to have a look at. Well, I went to an area and I saw the sharks. Let's have a look. I'm level 1. They're level 3. I didn't last very long.
Yeah.
But yeah, then I did pick up the mission, so I went back there while I'm level 4 at the moment, and I caned them. I took the sharks out.
I think what is really silly about this game is the leveling system feels unbalanced, because level 1 to level 2. They're more than twice as powerful. And the same from level 2 to level 3. So I'm actually, the mercenary, I actually managed to kill him. He was a level 5, I was a level 4. And the only reason why is because I ploughed a load of arrows into him, which sort of took out about 2 or 3 pixels out of his bar. And then I legged it. And then, I'd unlocked the sort of the Sparta kick.
Okay.
In the game as well. That's one of the things that you
Did you kick him off a cliff then?
I did a couple of times, actually, while shouting in my head, I am Sparta!
Straight out of 300, yeah, love it.
Yeah. So, I just kept doing that, and I kept doing it in a loop, because I'll tell you what, he's a nimble person as well. He was nipping all over the place, but it was really, it was tough getting him down, because about 2 or 3 hits and you're dead. Okay. With them.
Something you need to do when you get this game. First thing you need to do is you need to go on the Ubi. As soon as you've started the game and you've registered playing it, go to the Ubisoft Club.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got load of coins sitting in there. So there's some free bits of armour to buy for free. There's some there to unlock while progressing through the game. There's a couple there you can buy for like 10 coins. One there's to increase your XP for a short while. So that will help you. And there was, I can't remember the other one as well. I think it's more money maybe, but...
Soundtrack? They always do.
No, I didn't notice the soundtrack there. But it's worth going there just to pick a few bits up to start the game. Yeah. There's a couple of swords there as well, malice and stuff like that as well, which you can buy. I've got like 200 coins sitting there at the minute from playing all my Ubisoft games. But that does help to start the game off as well. And also there's a different horse skin as well there you can get.
Yeah, well, you know as well, if you go on to Twitch, that there's some stuff you can unlock for the game.
Oh, again, is there? I'll have to have a look for that.
Yeah. Yeah, you can unlock some stuff. So there's a few areas where you can actually get free stuff for inside the game. But I just think, to be honest, I think this is a really fantastic game. I think that Ubisoft have really come through after having a lot of ups and downs with Assassin's Creed. But I think that they finally seem to be getting back. Since Syndicate, things have slowly been getting better.
They haven't had the farce, shall we say. No, it didn't happen for me personally, but with the one with the French Revolution. Yeah. And all those different issues that we had.
Yeah. The floating eyeballs and tongues without a head and hair floating around. Yeah, all that sort of stuff.
But I tell you, this thing also noticed is really pretty funny. And I just don't do this, okay? Don't stand there fire too long because you set a light.
Yeah.
I thought, because I went to pick up, I thought I need to pick up a torch to go in this tunnel, and there was a torch there on the side, and I'm assuming I need to get up to it. I thought, click X or whatever, and you'll pick it up. No, I stood next to it thinking I'm going to pick one up, but I ended up setting a light, nearly killing myself.
Yeah. I don't know whether or not when you've been fighting as well, you've ever noticed this, but when, well, you won't have because you haven't got arrows, but it's the same as the Origins game. When you aim an arrow at someone, it shows you how much of the health it'll knock off.
That's interesting.
And how much is left. So if it's all completely red, it'll kill them outright. Yeah. If there's like half white or half yellow, then it'll only knock down half the health, which is really quite useful. But it's not always 100% accurate.
No. But
you know, there are other things that depend. But yeah, I mean, I'm absolutely loving this game so far. I think that we've been, you know, the last couple of months has been really good for games with Spider-Man, with Detroit, you know, with Forsaken.
Yeah.
You know, to just name a few of the really good games that we've actually had. And, you know, Forza this week and this one as well. What is good as well is because if you have a look on your description for your season pass, certainly mine, because I got the ultimate version, I think it's on the deluxe version as well, you get Assassin's Creed 3 and Liberation remasters when they're released as well.
Yeah, I'm not even sure actually to which version I bought, to be honest. I'm going to have to have a look actually. I'm just going to look on the Xbox now, on the phone, see what it says.
Well, if you've got the one with the season pass.
I have definitely got one with the season pass.
Yeah.
I think there was an Uber version, which was a bit much. So I'm not too sure which one I actually picked up off the top of my head. Yeah. I'll have to have a look in a minute. But yeah, it's a fantastic game. I don't think I'll get bored of it.
There's too much in it to do. Did you when you went to the vineyard, did you go a little bit further to that massive stone statue that's in the background? That's like about 10 stories high.
You mean, is that the one? That's the one where you got to do your synchronization. Yeah. I was hanging off its arse trying to get up there.
Oh, right. You didn't go around the other side.
I haven't looked. Do you know what? I didn't think of that, to be honest.
Well, I climbed up the front side, and I climbed up one leg, and I was moving across. And of course, this is an anatomically correct statue.
Yeah, well, I just went, because I'd come up from the back end. I thought, well, I'll hop on his ankle, up to his arse, up his back, and then up to the top to do the.
No, I went up his leg. to his knee, on the top part of his leg, and then sort of like tried to shimmy across to go up. But when I got to, his penis area, it then turned around and says, "Oh, I'd better not climb on that."
Yeah, so I purchased the gold edition.
Right, so you've got the season pass.
The gold, because there's the deluxe edition, the gold edition, and the ultimate edition. The ultimate edition was nearly 80 quid. That's just ridiculous. And to be honest,
I've got that one.
You didn't, did you? Because the extra bits you get between the two are only it says 91 in here.
Yeah, I got that one.
You're joking me. Why? Oh, that's just ridiculous.
Excuse me. Who's the one who's always been upset when another person asked him why and got very grumpy about it? So why are you doing it now?
So the version I've got comes with a season pass, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and the Secrets of Greece.
Yeah.
And the stupid collection you've got comes with some extra Kronos pack and the Herald of the Dust pack.
Yeah, but it also has
and the Capricornius naval. Those are the three bits of DLC you've got there, which are just cosmetic. And then the other thing you've got there is the same as me, obviously, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Secrets of Greece, and the Season Pass. That's all it says. That's the difference between the two of us.
So your version also has Assassin's Creed 3 and Liberation?
I'm assuming so, because it doesn't mention them anyway on either.
I definitely did on mine.
Let me go back.
Definitely did on mine.
Right, Gold Edition, here we go. So Master Your Fate, blah, 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 blah. 2 major story arcs and 3 downloadable episodes each. The bonus mission of Secret of Greece, available at day 1, of course. The games Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered and Assassin's Creed Liberation from Outcast to Be Living Legend, Embark on the Odyssey, blah, blah, blah. So, I'll get those 2 as well then. With that, that's okay. Yeah. That's cool. So I don't think I have Liberation in any shape or form anyway, because that was Xbox 360, wasn't it?
No, it was PS.
Oh, was it? Oh, was it? Oh, okay.
Was it Vita? Yeah, it was.
And
it was Vita rather than
And Assassin's Creed 3 is that the one set in America?
Yeah, with Connor. Yeah.
Which I didn't play a lot of, so maybe looking at the remastered version would be worth letting me look at.
Yeah.
So, yeah, cool. Anything else?
Not on Assassin's Creed, really, other than, highly recommend it as a game to play, especially if you do like Assassin's Creed. But to be honest, I don't think you need to like Assassin's Creed in this, because I don't know about you, but there's no story about assassins. There is the future animus element of it right at the beginning as well, and I'm sure that'll turn up in a few different places as well. Yeah.
I don't think this is going to be a spoiler, but I only know this from seeing bits and pieces. But I think Naval is involved in this a bit as well. So
yes, it is. Yeah, if
you liked your Black Flag, you're going to get that fix as well.
Yeah, it's got all of the different elements in the different games.
Okay, so shall we let's move on then to news and movies, TV, and streaming? If I can say that correctly.
In quest of a better life.
So you've got a bit of news for us about Avengers 4.
Yes, evidently some of the internet's having a bit of a meltdown on some of this, actually, because from what's been reported, Chris Evans, who plays Captain America, has sent out a tweet regarding the filming of the movie. So it was officially wrapped on Avengers 4. It was an emotional day, to say the least. Playing this role over the last 8 years has been an honour to everyone in front of the camera, behind the camera, and the audience. Thank you for the memories. Eternally grateful.
Yeah.
So, he's been Captain America for 8 years. Which is a heck of a long time for any actor to be in a role. But does this mean that we're saying goodbye to Steve Rogers, oblique Captain America, in the next movie?
Yeah, does it mean, does he die? Does he walk away? Who knows?
Well, I think it'd probably be, if anything, die, because in the cartoons or graphic novels, whichever way you want to call it, Captain America does die, and he's actually replaced by someone else. In a matter of fact, he's the Winter Soldier replaces him at one point.
Yeah, well, okay.
So there's that, and also Robert Downey Jr. has also tweeted back something cryptic along the lines. I can't remember exactly what it said, but we all know who the sheriff was in town, and it's got a picture of Buzz Lightyear and Woody. So, but to be honest, it wouldn't surprise me if Robert Downey Jr.'s character dies in the next movie. And, sorry, spoiler territory, but obviously from what we've just said, I think that even Chris Evans has himself spoiled by saying that he's obviously in the next movie in some way.
To be honest, I did actually see the story myself as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's...
I think his character will die.
Does it mean that...
When I say die, I mean permadeath. Yeah.
Will that free him up, though, to reprise his role in Fantastic Four?
Oh, God, no. I liked him as Captain America, but they need to do something with Fantastic Four, and there's been another Fantastic Four since those two movies.
But that last one was pants, apparently, so I've not really watched it.
It was pants. It was pants, absolutely. But, I understand a couple of years ago Chris Evans wanted to leave Avengers and not, because I think he's going more into directing from what I'd heard. So that'll be interesting to see where his career does go to in the future. But he's not a bad actor.
Oh no, not at all. I got a little bit of news. We won't delve into this too deep because we mentioned this probably most weeks. We've had a little dig at this, but Barbara Broccoli, who's a producer of the Bond movies, told The Guardian the other day saying, Bond is male, he's a male character, and he's written as a male, and I think he'll probably stay as a male. So that's nice to know, that we're not going to get a change of a male to female action hero where it's not needed.
Yes. I think it's about time all of that sort of stuff.
Yeah, but that's nice to hear from her that's good news. And the films, I think, didn't it get it's due out now 2020 because they've mentioned, it's not written down here, but the production of the movie, the film of it, is coming up pretty soon.
Well, they were supposed to have started it, and then I've forgotten what his name quit it.
He did. Yeah.
The director.
So filming of the next Bond movie will begin at Palmer Studios on the 4th of March, and the film will be released on the 14th of February 2020. So there you go.
Yeah.
A little way off yet. Okay. Movie releases.
Yeah.
I'll do those because actually there's a few other Blu-rays I want to talk about. So 12th of October then we have Mandy, Smallfoot, Bad Times at the El Royale, and First Man.
I quite like the look of First Man.
Yeah, I remember seeing a trailer for that. That's to do with the First Man on the Moon.
It is. It's talking about Neil Armstrong.
And the reason I say that is because the actor that plays the main actor that I wanted to little talk about in TV later, but he was on Graham Norton this week.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll have a little chat about that later.
Ryan Gosling.
It was, yeah. So
you should know that.
I know, yeah, because the last time I saw Ryan Gosling on the Graham Norton show was for Blade Runner, of course. But yes. And Bad Times at the El Royale looks pretty interesting. I see the trailer for that. Can't remember too much what it's about, but it did look interesting at all. But a few good movies there. Gets better as the month progresses. So, do you want to do the Blu-ray DVD, and then we'll have a little chat about our favourites in that list?
Okay, well, I'm not going to read out the list because there's a cast of hundreds, but the ones I've picked out are Benny Dorm, the complete collection.
Not for me. Carry on.
No. Captain Scarlet and the Mysterons, the complete series on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
City of the Living Dead, Blu-ray limited edition. DC Superhero Girls Legends of Atlantis. There's a couple of Dragon Ball ones there for those of you who were young enough to like them. Fast and the Furious 4K on 2 and 3 as well as the first one. There's Hellboy Director's Cut on Blu-ray as well. Superman the Movie Extended Cut Blu-ray.
Mm-hmm.
The Orville Season 1, but only on DVD. I don't understand that at all.
Well, they did that with Star Trek, didn't they, as well, funnily enough?
No, what? Which Star Trek?
Star Trek Discovery is only coming out on sorry, that's DVD and Blu-ray, but not 4K.
Yeah, it is. The Time Tunnel, the complete series as well. So those are the ones that I've picked out on there.
Yeah, Time Tunnel, I adored that as a child. Love that movie. They love that TV show.
Yeah.
They didn't do enough of them. They did cut short on that series. One you haven't got there in the list, which I do like from my age, is A Matter of Life and Death, which is a war story of a man it's a very simple story that we've probably heard before, where this pilot is on a mission and he's critical and he's about to die.
Yeah.
And he wakes up in heaven, and there's a court case whether he should live or die because of the girl that's fallen in love with him.
Yeah.
David Niven's in this. Fantastic story and a fantastic war movie. But it's more of a love story, to be honest, but it's a great film.
Yeah.
That's coming up to about, I think it's about 50, might be 60 years, maybe more. I think, I can't remember now. It's anniversary, so yeah, well worth a look if you like those sort of movies. Superman, yeah, I agree with you on that. Now I'm going to have to look into that with what I've ordered on the 4K front, because I might have to get that as well. Okay, so let's move swiftly on to the cinema charts, and I will do that. So from 5 to 1 we have The Nun at 5. 4 we have The Crazy Rich Asians. 3 is A Simple Favour. 2 we have The House with the Clock in the Walls, which is a Jack Black movie. And number 1 we've got Night School.
And I can honestly say I don't fancy a single one of them.
Well, I'd like to see The Nun at some point, but again, you won't. That's a horror film.
Yeah, my level of interest is none.
Yeah, so Blu-ray DVD charts.
Blu-ray DVD charts at number 5. New entry, we've got Hocus Pocus. Number 4, we have The Walking Dead complete 8th season, which is a good one. Number 3, down from 2, we have Avengers Infinity War. At number 2, down from 1, we have Deadpool 2. And straight in at number 1, we have Solo, A Star Wars Story.
Yeah, okay.
Oh dear. It's not a bad film. It's not...
I know, I've seen it once, and that's probably once enough.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So what have you been watching?
So, I just like to mention Graham Norton. I just love that TV show. He does make the stars very well relaxed.
A little too well relaxed sometimes, I think.
I think sometimes it's the blue room before, you know.
I thought it was a green room.
This week, or green room, yeah. I'm sorry, blue is PlayStation, isn't it? Sorry.
Because you've got blue blood now.
Yeah. So this week we had, obviously, Ryan Gosling promoting The First Man. We had Gary Barlow, obviously, Take That, is obviously he's got a new book out, so that was what he was there for. We had Jamie Lee Curtis there, and we know what she was there for. She was promoting the Halloween movie. And Rowan Atkinson was there promoting his new Johnny English movie. And I urge you to go and watch this. This was so much fun watching these guys all talk to each other about their little parts of... they just keep bringing in bits of their life into it, you know, the way they just chat. And I can say this, Jamie Lee Curtis, she's such a mum, bless her. She loves everybody. She's so great. And even that, what's his name, Rowan Atkinson came on a little bit later. I don't know how that worked, but he was brought on halfway through the show. That might have been down to I think they do this on a Thursday night. And I think there might have been a premiere for Johnny English, possibly, so that's why he was a bit later. Because I think that's the way this show works. Is that because the week before they had someone on there, and they were saying that the way they said it is if they were talking about Thursday when it's on a Friday night, because they had the premiere for us. There was another premiere, and a couple of people came on for that. But yeah, it's just such a good fun. I love Graham Norton; he's so funny. Yeah. And it's nice to see Rowan Atkinson. It's been a long time.
Even though you were saying that he wasn't very good the other day, the last show.
No, well, do you know what? Johnny English isn't really my cup of tea. Mr. Bean's had its time, even though he did actually say that maybe that is, Mr. Bean may not come back again. But he did a great story. He was, as you well probably know, he's very much a car enthusiast. And he said he was in his local Land Rover dealer waiting for a part to pick up, and there's some guy goes up to him saying, "Do you know what? Do you look very much familiar like Rowan Atkinson? Because you could play a dead ringer for Mr. Bean." He said, "Have you ever thought of actually doing it as a go do one of these impersonators?" And he was trying to tell him who he was, and he just didn't have it. It was really funny. But yeah, just great show. I do enjoy that. I did get to watch my Halloween 4K because that arrived after the show on Monday last week. Very good transfer. Obviously, being an older movie, there's a couple of places where it's a slightly degrade on the 4K, but that's just, it's an old movie and they do what they do for the restoration and upgrade them or whatever. That was well. There's a couple of great little extras on there as well. I watched a documentary where Jamie Lee Curtis actually went to her first sort of, I'm going to call it a horror con, and she did some signings for Halloween and everything else, and all these people, like we did when we queued up for VIP with Star Trek. And she did two or 3 days there of signings, and she did a little bit of a Q&A as well. But what she did was she was so accommodating because they accidentally overbooked the amount of people to get autographs. But she did a lot, not a worry or a moan. And obviously with the autographs and also the photographs that she was doing as well. But that was quite interesting to watch. Saw The Good Place last night. I don't know how this is going to go. I'm still feeling a bit. It's not on par with season 1 and 2 yet. It's
still early on in the season, and we've got to, it's got to develop.
Even the other half said because she was not really concentrating because it's just not as good as season 1 and 2. And I said, well, maybe give it a chance. We're seeing they're building up on a story here. What's going on with them being on Earth? And I don't think it's going to get better, assuming that they're going to remember who they are and they know each other. If that's the route it takes,
I don't think it'll take that route
because they've lost that chemistry they had before. Because the chemistry was that they knew each other, they were beating the system.
That's the point, though, isn't it? At the moment, and they're rebuilding that chemistry again. That's right, and
it's not there yet for me. But we'll see. I mean, I'm not going to deadpan it at all. We'll see how it works out. I'm sure. Well, I hope it does pan out to be to get better. That's it for me. Now you've got obviously Walking Dead there. What about Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? How was that?
Oh yeah, I forgot I got that on DVD, on Blu-ray, didn't I? Yes, you did. It's absolutely fine. I mean, to be honest, while it is a remaster, it's not an upscaled remaster in any sort of way. If you've already got the DVD, you would probably just stick with the DVD because it is 4:3 sort of resolution, but the quality of it, it's.
I imagine that the soundtrack could be improved as well, which I did find when I was watching Halloween. The improved soundtrack makes a lot of difference.
To be honest, it's hard to say because it's watching it off the TV. because you've got your Sky Q Mega Booster thing. And
but then again, a TV show compared to a movie for soundtrack. Yeah,
very different. And also you're talking about a early 80s TV show.
Yeah, and Halloween's 1979.
Yeah, but even so, you're talking about, you know, an early movie versus an early TV. They didn't have half the investment in a TV that they did in a movie. And
True,
the whole of the thing wouldn't have added up.
It's got that. I'm not saying it's on a bad note, but Hitchhikers has got that tackiness to it. But that's just its charm.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
And, to be honest, I mean, for me, it's a nostalgia trip. Because, you know, Hitchhikers was one of my first sci-fi loves as well. You know, it was early on in the formation of me enjoying sci-fi.
Okay.
And I grew up with it, you know, reading it at school and stuff like that as well. Really annoyed my literature teacher when he wanted us to read Shakespeare, and I was like reading Douglas Adams.
I'm trying to think when it was originally broadcast on the BBC.
70s, wasn't it?
No, was it?
Pretty sure.
I thought that was the 1980s.
No, I don't think so.
I'll have a look later, but I'm just thinking, because off the back of watching a TV show, I bought the BBC, the vinyl, the 2 albums that came out, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and The Restaurant at the End of the Universe. And I'm sure I was at work then, so maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. But yeah, it is a good show, and it is. It might be looking a bit cheap and tacky, but it's like Blake 7 would have been and everything else at the time that was out.
It was 1979.
There you go. So I just left school, but and you were still at school.
Yes. Very much still at school.
But yeah, and it as I say, it's a great show. It's a great book. Movie's not too bad, to be honest.
I don't like the movie half as much. I like Martin Freeman, and I think he played a good Arthur Dent, but I didn't like Ford. I thought Sam Rockwell was all right as Zaphod, but I didn't like what they'd done with Zaphod, and I didn't like the fact that they deviated away from the core story so much.
Yeah, and also being an American character, because it's a British.
Well, Mark Wing
really,
Davies, who played Zaphod, was American, so I don't have a problem with that.
No, I'm on about Arthur Dent, because
Martin Freeman's British.
No, sorry, I was thinking Ford Prefect. Sorry, I do apologise.
Yeah, no, Ford Prefect. Yeah,
he's very much British, but they used an American actor to play that.
Yeah, but I mean actually, Ford Prefect technically is Beetlejuicean, isn't he?
Yeah, but forget all that. He's, you had a British actor playing in the TV show, and you had an American actor playing in the American.
Yeah, and you
movie.
also had a British actor on the radio show as well.
Yeah, so it's very much a British thing, this TV show, to me, and the whole thing of it is what it is. But
it's like Monty Python. The Americans can't do Monty Python. No offence to you guys, but it's true. You know, there's certain humour that we can't do over here that's very Americanised sort of humour. And likewise, there's also that stuff that doesn't translate over. It's very rare that, you know, that we actually have humours in common. And to be honest, I think Steve Carell with The Office and that cast was superb, because that was British humour, but it was applied in the American context, and it still worked.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's funny. I was cooking myself dinner yesterday, and I thought, well, I'm only been here 20 minutes. I'm just doing it for myself because the missus wasn't hungry. And I just stuck an episode of 40 Towers on Netflix, and I had that in the background, listening to the Mrs. Richards missing her vase. You know,
I might have spoken about the war, but I don't think anyone knows. I think we got away with it.
Just. That's classic British humour, and it doesn't work any other way. And I know some people even that listen to this show might not like it or may not get it because it's, may seem old but the comedy's still there and the comedy still works, and the comedy is as genius as it is then as it is now for such a show as that, But so do you want to anything you want to say about The Walking Dead season 8 other than you already mentioned?
Probably quite a few things actually. I mean, in terms of it, I'm not going to try and spoil it, but to me, I think that the one thing I like about The Walking Dead is the fact that it's a show that reinvents itself every season, but still stays true to its origins. Do you know what I mean? I mean, season 7 ended with a confrontation between Rick and Negan, and that story's continued right throughout season 8. And it's this season's all about how Alexandria, the Kingdom, and the Hilltop fight against the survivors now that they've come from under the boot of the survivors, as it were. And I have to admit, Jeffrey Dean Morgan is fantastic, absolutely fantastic as Negan, because
that nasty piece of work.
Because his character, he and the writers handle his character so really well. You actually love hating him. Do you know what I mean? And
I'm trying to think. I'm just looking at my Skybox at the moment. I've got series 7 and 8 on here at the moment.
You've got to watch them, man.
Is that, or am I missing? Is season 7 the beginning of that? Is where we have the baseball scene?
Yes.
I'm just going to have a look now, but on silence.
Yes, it is. Because the baseball, I mean, my God, that was so shocking. That was absolutely so shocking. And, the guy, he has a love affair with that baseball, which he calls Lucille, which is named after his wife.
Yeah.
But
how did you, without saying too much, I mean, I have seen the episode, and maybe people that haven't watched The Dead that may not want to know anyway. How did you feel about losing characters the way it did? It was just... It
was handled so incredibly well. I think this is where this show really excels, because it does kill off your primary characters. And, one of which that dies where you are was a new character, and one of them was a season 1 character.
That's what I mean, yeah.
And, a very prominent season 1 character. And that person's death is so horrific. And the reasoning behind, because Negan as a character, he believes in his own dogma. So he believes, he's called his gang the Saviours because he believes he's actually saving people, and what he's actually doing is being sadistic. And if anybody steps out of line, like if so in order to get Rick's people in line, he kills 2 of his people at random to make sure that they follow him. And then, if something happens in another area like the Hilltop, he'll kill one person, and then everybody else will start to follow. And this is how he creates this layer of fear. Even his own men are frightened of him, even his own top lieutenants.
Well, funny, actually, I'm just having a scan of this episode of that for season 7 and 8.
Yeah.
No, this is not the season. This is the season in front. So I've got another season to watch. The season where the baseball bat scene
That's the end of That's the end of season 6, and season 7 starts right there. So if you've seen the bit where Lucille's swinging,
oh, I have. Yeah.
Well, that's the end of the one season. Seriously, so you've got season 7 and 8 to watch.
No, it's not on there. That I'm missing a season because that baseball bat scene isn't in it.
No, it's not. It's on the season before. It's in the very last episode of season 6. That's what I'm saying.
No, but the season where they cut it into 2.
Yeah.
Where the end of the season where he threw the baseball bat, but you didn't know who died.
Yeah.
I think that was season 5.
No. It was season 6.
Because the beginning of this season is not the baseball bat scene. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, that's by the by.
I'm pretty sure it's season 6. The Negan's only been around for 2 seasons. But anyway, I mean, the great thing about this show is it shows such a bleak view of how humans would be if there was a zombie apocalypse. But it always has that layer of positiveness and hope in there as well, which keeps the characters driving.
Yeah.
You know, and it's one of those shows that you can't relax, because when you're watching it, if a zombie comes and starts to attack everyone, you don't know if it's going to actually kill everybody there unless you've skipped ahead and looked at the next episode. And even then, you're not necessarily 100% sure. So I think they do an incredibly good job with this as a show. I'm not sure how much more legs it's got, really, but I think that the last 2 seasons with the whole saviours bit has been brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to try and get back into it, because it did lose its path a bit.
Yeah.
But I'm just... So what's the new season that starts tomorrow?
Season 9.
Right.
Seriously, you've got season 7 and 8 to watch. Because if I remember rightly, season 6 was the guy who played Doctor Who. Or, you know, the Doctor Who that wasn't Doctor Who. Do you know what I mean, on that Christmas special?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Let's get at the top of my list of recordings. So I've got Doctor Who there now. Oh, don't press play yet. Wait till later.
David Morrissey, that was it. He played the governor. Yeah. Yeah,
he did, yeah. I'm sure, but I will check in a bit. I think I'm a season missing.
I don't think you are. Not if you've got up to where you think you've got to.
Yeah, I only got to the killings, and then watching the next episode when they met that dude with the lion.
Yes.
So
that's season 7, because that's.
You sure?
Yeah, that's the king.
Okay.
John, what's happening to us?
Okay. So Mark's given us 2 questions again this week. Hope he's feeling better with his back. Question 1 is, what determines the format on which you... what determines the format on which you buy a game for? And I think I know the answer to this. It's one word. It's called exclusives.
Oh, no, it's not for me.
I just say...
If it's multi-format, I mean,
yeah.
Obviously, if it's only on one, it's kind of like you don't have any option. But if it's multi-format, how do you choose?
I would go to Xbox. But do you know what? You know Resident Evil 2 is coming out next year, February, I think. They've not mentioned VR on that at all, so I'm wondering whether I should actually buy it on PlayStation in case they do. Do you know what I mean?
I do.
And if anything's going to be announced between now and February, hopefully it will be, because if it isn't, I would go for Xbox. But if they decide to want to bring some VR out for that, then I'm going to have to go PlayStation all the way. For me. How about you? So how do you feel?
To be honest, most of the time it's Xbox. If it's a multi-format game, mainly, like I said, for the reason of the controller, because I don't like the DualShock 4. So I always think that the Xbox is a better controller. Again, it's personal choice. If you like the other one, that's fine, but I don't want to get into an argument about it. But personally, I much prefer the Xbox controller, so I will go for that. Secondly, now, even though it's not as important, I would go for the Xbox slightly over the PlayStation because of the boost in power there, so the better performance, and also achievements.
Yeah, and also they are true 4K there, bulk of the way as well.
Yeah.
With the Xbox One enhanced as well, so yeah, I agree with that.
But having said that, though, Strange Brigade, when that was released, I couldn't get it on the format that on Xbox. And I thought, well, do you know what? I want to play the game now, so I went and bought it on PlayStation.
Yeah.
I wasn't bothered. At the end, at the end of the day, a game's a game. But, I thought, no, my desire to play the game overrides all of the other considerations. So, I'm not as, bothered. But if I have the choice, I would go Xbox.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was even when Xbox was the least powerful console as well. Because it all goes back down to the controller, because that's your interface with the game.
Yeah, no, that's true. Do you want to read question 2?
I'm sorry, I've just literally just read his question.
I'm waiting for you to smile at this
and
one.
This is so funny. So, tell me, Steve, do you ever fall asleep while playing a game? And if so, when was the last time?
Last night.
Let me tell you a story, ladies and gentlemen. Steve has a habit of falling asleep while we're playing Destiny on a regular basis.
It is, isn't it? I don't know why.
It is. To the point of I have to shoot him and blow him up so that his controller vibrates in his hand and I wake him up. And myself, and when Chris was in our fire team, we used to have endless fun pushing Steve's character
around
off
the map.
walls or into strange areas that was in Destiny where nobody else was about. Yeah. And then he'd wake up and go, where am I?
Yeah. My missus reckons I've got narcolepsy. Because she reckons I sometimes just nod off.
Yeah. So sort of that's that when you're in a fire team with Steve, this is what you have to do. Yeah. So stab him, his character, shoot him, blow him up. As long as it just gets the controller vibrating, he'll probably wake up unless he gets in a deep sleep. Yeah. And then you can just hear him snoring.
Oh dear. Am I getting old or what? And that's not because of my age, it's just sometimes I'm knackered at night. It really is. But
yeah.
But saying that, I actually fell asleep so Mrs. went and took the dog for a walk. I've been working on the garden most of the day. And I put on Assassin's Creed and I got to the point where I was in the menus.
Yeah.
And I just nodded off. And I woke up in the menus and where was I up to? It's just... I was feeling a bit cream crackered anyway, but...
Yeah, I mean, we all do it, I think. I mean, the times when I've done it is, those times you wake up and you realise that you've been looking up in the air and spinning round in a circle for the last 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Which I've done that while streaming a couple of times as well. I'm sure people will watch, but what on earth has he been doing?
Yeah.
But, I try not to. Try and only stream when I'm wide awake. But there have been some times where I've just dropped off, which is a bit embarrassing, really. But
it's all good fun.
It is.
Anyhow, if we go to Facebook, so Albert Menfrey has got a question, which is very interesting, actually, because I just read about this in the news and did wind me up a bit. So, what do you think about Microsoft and Amazon partnering to bring Alexa controls to the Xbox, starting with October update in the US? Is this something you might regularly use when it finally comes to the UK? Now, I think it's a good idea, but I don't understand why we can't have it on the update for the October update. Because I don't know what the difference is in setting this up. There can't be anything much in it other than a few, probably some accents, maybe, I don't know.
There sure can, boy.
Exactly. See what I mean? That's no disrespect to our American cousins, but... why is it going to take longer to get the UK version running?
I don't know, old chap. I'm sure it's something to do with our phraseology over here,
The subtitles, please.
Dunno.
Imagine. It's... oh, no. I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. I would use it, I think.
Yeah, I think I will as well, to be honest.
Because I think even members of the family that aren't here now used to enjoy using the Kinect to pause Netflix.
Mm. But also you'll be able to say, Amazon device, I'm going to call it. Stop people emailing in and complaining.
Sorry,
Amazon device.
My Alexa's very quiet over there because the lights are on and she's sitting there doing as she's told. Yeah,
she's probably thinking, oh God, they're talking about that podcast. I just won't bother listening. So Amazon device, load this game, and then it'll load on your Xbox. So, having said that, though, you can also say, hey, Cortana, and then it goes, sorry, or here's something I found earlier, or something or other like that.
You might be interested in this.
Yeah.
But, I look forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose it depends upon what the functions are going to be.
Mm. There is a list out there already. If you want to take a gander, you can find them and see what the list is.
Yeah.
Okay. Craig, for you? So,
Craig has said, who is your favourite gaming celebrity? Be it a big game creator, developer, or YouTube, Twitch broadcaster, anything that you miss from games gone. I enjoyed King Gothlian and Miss Peter Mullew. He was not sold about delivering, but I loved that he went for it. I do think, apart from PC gaming, a lot of gaming is too safe at the moment.
Yeah, well, Peter, as he says there, sometimes didn't really deliver what he was going to deliver. But I loved. He's great. He was a great character.
He was. I mean, what I used to love about him was when he used to say, so we're going to deliver this. And he used to say it in front of like 10,000 people. And then the guys who were actually programming were looking at each other. When did he say it? When did we agree that? You could see that view. How on earth are we going to do that? Oh my God, he's off on one again.
Yeah. But no. A famous gaming celebrity, I don't know actually.
I mean, back in the day of Zap 64 and stuff like that, there used to be like Julian Rignall and people like that who used to do the reviews, who used to be kind of celebrities, for us, sort of thing, if you read those magazines or you read Crash. I suppose nowadays, David Braben is, one of the developers who I like to, follow on Twitter and that as well, but that's because I got an interest in Elite Dangerous. But otherwise, I think it is down to like your YouTubers like Obsidian Ant or Buggy2988, isn't it, really?
Yeah, but none of them interest me, to be honest.
I don't mind Buggy, and I don't, Obsidian Ant's interesting to watch if you like Elite Dangerous. But I think that's the thing with all of these sort of ones, they tailor to the audience that they're aiming at.
Yeah. I agree.
I can't think of any, because we used to have like Dominic Diamond, didn't we? Remember him?
Yes, yeah. God, that's going back a bit.
It is somewhat, isn't it? But
I mean, there's people like Jonathan Ross that were always gamers and comic book readers and stuff like that,
Yes.
But, yeah. I think Peter Molyneux just come to mind because I think he's great, personally. Unfortunately, he's not in the business like he used to be now.
And of course, I know for sure because of something that he's put on that Craig absolutely loves and adores Major Nelson. Not.
He does his job and he does what he's supposed to do. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, to be honest, Major Nelson, Sony doesn't have an equivalent.
No.
Some people, including Craig, would probably say thank God for that. But his job is to paint Xbox positively, and I think that he does in that sort of like really sickly sweet way that he does. Do you know what I mean? It's sort of like buying full fat sugar and then putting half a pound of sugar in it and then drinking it when you listen to him. But he does do he does say the positive sides of it, even when he knows that what he's saying is spin. But I just wish PlayStation did have that sort of equivalent sort of role. I think that the Xbox side are much more engaging with their audience in that way than PlayStation are.
Yeah.
But
that's true.
Yeah.
Okay, Adrian Parker. With the advent of 4K HDR gaming, and with the apparent healthy response to VR gaming alongside the portable gaming regarding like the Nintendo Switch, what do you think would be the next stage in gaming?
I think probably haptic gaming.
Can you see us all there wearing some sort of tight rubber suit?
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Sort of like haptic feedback.
Yeah.
I can imagine that sort of thing. I mean, we've already had, ones that have been linked to it. So there was a vest that you could put on. For want of a better term, a vest. It looked more like a bulletproof vest. But basically what it did was worked on the low ranges of sounds, and so things like a bullet shot or whatever, and then it would give a massive sort of like vibration, sort of like thump into your chest.
Yeah.
That you could feel. Well, it didn't hurt, but you could feel it, that bang as if you'd been hit. So I think that that's a possibility. Although, to be honest, I think a lot of these things, and I still say this about VR, despite the fact I've got 2 headsets, and my son's got like one to go with a mobile as well. So effectively, we've got 3 types of VR in the house.
Yeah.
I think it's all going to be a passing fad.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money to put out there, really. And unless, unless they bring the price down of the headsets, I can't see them being absolutely super fantastically popular. And you look at it, PlayStation VR, the only reason why that's suddenly become more popular is because they've had a price cut.
Yeah.
So, everybody always rushes for it when it goes down, but when it's at full price, people aren't touching it as much.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
But, okay. Do you want to read next Nicky Wilson's question?
All right. So, Nicky's asking, have you backed anything on Kickstarter? He's backed 6 things since 2015, and none of them have turned up yet.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, Nicky, one of the things that you want to watch out is when they put their username as Dodgy Dan, that might be an indication not to go with them. Just as a hint. But I have.
Because you did Elite Dangerous, didn't you?
I did one Kickstarter, and that was Elite Dangerous, and I sunk a lot in that. To get the, not the very top one that they did, but, one a couple of layers down. And to be honest, they delivered on that. And they delivered much better than I thought that they would, because I got a personalised box. Very, very nicely, sort of like, not engraved, but, nice lettering with my name on it and everything, and all personalised stuff inside of it and that. So I was really happy with, especially for what I paid for, because it was a lot for a game, but it wasn't a lot.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. Especially considering that I got a lifetime worth season pass out of it for the PC. So
I've never dabbled in Kickstarter. I think actually, if memory serves, Leonard Nimoy's son, when he did the documentary for the Love of Spock, that was like a Kickstarter, wasn't it?
I can't remember, to be honest.
Yeah, because you could get your credit, depending on where you backed it, you could get your name in the credits and stuff like that, and there was different things you could pick up with the release of it as well.
Right.
And there's one recently I was looking at, which is a Kickstarter for a horror documentary coming out, which is going to go back over all the 80s horror movies.
All right, okay.
That was out about a day or two ago, and it's nearly got what it wants. But I will look forward to seeing that documentary at some point when it comes out. But yeah, no, there's a little bit of a risk in Kickstarter, to be honest, isn't there? It's not easy.
Well, there's no guarantee that these things are going to be delivered.
Sometimes they don't come to fruition on that, do they? So
yeah, and I don't know whether or not I'm just being more careful, but unless, it's like I'm backing in a guaranteed winner, I'm not going to do it. And I knew, because you could see from the amount of development that had already gone into like Elite Dangerous that this game wasn't far off when I did it. But I didn't actually do it through a Kickstarter because they carried on the Kickstarter on their website, but dealing directly with them. If you see what I mean. So yeah. I kicked in at that point, which was after the Kickstarter. And, they were then doing betas of the game and stuff like that, and that was when I got involved with it. So it was just before, actually, they switched all of the ability to do that sort of stuff off. So I was quite lucky on my timing. But, no, I mean, I've been tempted every now and again, but stuff always seems to be really expensive on a Kickstarter, and it's generally cheaper when it comes out.
Well, it depends what you're going to get. Like, you might get something special involved with it. From a gaming point of view, it's a bit difficult. But I think where it's to do with more movie related, which some of them can be. Who knows? But yeah, I think Nicky's been a bit unlucky by the sounds of it.
Yeah, you just need to be a bit more careful on what it is that you're backing, I think.
Yeah, okay. Well...
But hang on, didn't he actually do Shenmue back on that? I thought he'd said. I don't know.
I can't remember.
Because that was a Kickstarter, wasn't it?
Yeah, I thought he did, actually. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah. But, yeah, okay. Anyway, I really need to get going. It's just to say that this is the end of the show, then.
Yay. For another week.
No, I'm on call next week, so...
So we may not have a show next week.
We will cross that bridge when it comes to it.
That's Steve's code for we may not be able to do a show. So if there's no show, there's no show.
Yeah.
We might be able to knock out a special next week instead, then that'll be shorter.
Yeah, we'll see what we can knock up.
Yeah.
Anyway, so contact information. So myself, Twitter @Steve007, PSN ID, The Real Steve007, and Xbox, Steve007, email, steve07@popculturegamers.co.uk, and yours, Hayden, as usual, is?
So mine, everything's HERJUK. You can find me on YouTube, just type in my name, Hayden Reese Jones. If you want to get in contact with the podcast, then you can email podcast@popculturegamers.co.uk. We also have a Facebook group. Our website is popculturegamers.podbean.com, and also don't forget you can follow the show as well as us on Twitter, and that is @popculturegamer.
Yes. So this is the end of episode 26.
It is.
So it's a good night from me.
And it's a good night from him.
Good night.
Good night.
You are about to witness history in the making.